Hello students, I am Pallav Darbari. Welcome you all in my YouTube channel, Pallav Darbari Classes. In this video, I will discuss Macroeconomics Class 12th, Chapter 2, Money and Banking. This is my ninth video on the topic Money and Banking. In this video, I will discuss monetary policy. Before starting up the monetary policy, we should know the glimpses of the inflation and the deflation. When I'm talking about the inflation, inflation means rise in the price of the commodities of daily use, which is being mentioned on the virtual basket. In a very simple word, we can say that inflation is hike in the price of the commodities. Now let us see the meaning of the deflation. Fall in the price of the commodities mentioned in the virtual basket is called deflation. In a very simple word, when the price of the commodity decrease, that is called deflation. Both inflation and deflation are not good for the growth and development of the country. In the case of the inflation, the condition of the consumers deteriorates a lot. In the case of the deflation, the condition of the producers deflate a lot. But if we have to compare both, we can say that as compared to the deflation, inflation is far more better. The question is why the inflation is far more better as compared to the deflation, because in the case of the inflation, the producers will be motivated and they will increase the production. The foreign currency definitely come in a country, but to some extent the inflation is good, and after certain points, it means when the inflation is in single digit, it is always good. It is considered that if the inflation is in single digit, it is the boost for the development of the country. But if the inflation comes to the double digit, when there is a walking inflation or when there is a creeping inflation, the condition or the growth of the country stops, and the economy of the country will about to collapse. Anyway, just to check all these things, the government framed the policies. The policy framed by the government to check the inflation, the deflation is called fiscal policy that the government framed through the budget. It is also called the budgetary policy. RBI also framed the policies to check the problems of inflation and deflation. That is called monetary policy. In this video, we will discuss the policies framed by the RBI to check the problem of inflation and the deflation. That is called monetary policy. The central bank controls the supply of money and credit through various instruments of the monetary policy. These instruments of the monetary policy can be broadly classified into two categories. In a very simple word, we can say that the RBI through the monetary policy controls the supply of money. There are two instruments through which the RBI through the monetary policy controls the supply of money. These two instruments are, number one, quantitative instruments, and number two is qualitative instruments. Here we can say the quantitative and the qualitative instruments. Under the quantitative instruments, different methods are there, different ways are there by which RBI controls the supply of money. That is bank rate, reserve rate, and the open market operations. In the case of the qualitative instruments, through the marginal requirements, through the selective credit control, and through the moral successions, the RBI controls the supply of money. Under the quantitative measures, whatever the thing we have seen, they are the important tools through which RBI controls the supply of money, and the method with that we see under the qualitative instruments, these are the important tools through which the RBI controls the supply of money. Firstly, let us see the quantitative measures. The quantitative measures regulate the total quantity of credit without taking into account the uses to which such credit is put in. In a very simple word, we can say that by increasing and decreasing the supply of money, RBI controls the inflation and the deflation. In the case of the inflation, what the RBI do? The RBI cut down the supply of money, and in the case of the deflation, RBI increases the supply of money. So the problem of inflation and the deflation is solved. Let us discuss the measures that the RBI opt Under the quantitative measures, the RBI follow the following tools through which the RBI increases or decreases the supply. Let us see the tools that the RBI uses. RBI uses the legal reserve ratio. RBI uses the open market operations. RBI uses the market stabilization scheme, and the RBI uses the policy rate. Through these tools, the RBI increases or decreases the supply of money to check the problem of inflation and deflation. Under the legal ratio, under the legal reserve ratio, there are two instruments. Two ratios comes under the legal reserve ratio. One is called the cash reserve ratio and the other one is called the statutory liquidity ratio. Through the cash reserve ratio and the statutory liquidity ratio, RBI controls the inflation and the deflation. Under the policy rate, following instruments are there, following rates are there. One is called the bank rate, repo rate, reverse repo rate, and the marginal standing facility rate. Under the policy rate, four rates are there. Under the legal reserve ratios, two ratios are there. Through these tools, RBI check the problems of inflation and deflation. We will discuss all these tools in detail. Now let us discuss the first tool of the monetary policy, which comes under the quantitative measure, that is cash reserve ratio. As per today, the cash reserve ratio is 3% of the NDTL. 3% of NDTL, what it means? Always remember that the monetary policy issued by the RBI is a bi-monthly policy. When I say bi-monthly policy, it means that after every 2 months, RBI has to review the policy. When I say review the policy, it doesn't mean that the RBI will always or all the time when the RBI is reviewing the policy, they will change the rate. They may continue the same rate or they can change the rate. As per today, according to the 31st March 2021 monetary policy, the cash reserve ratio is 3% of the NDTL. What it means? Always remember, every commercial bank has to keep a certain percentage of the NDTL in RBI. They have to maintain certain percentage of the deposit in RBI. The money that the commercial bank has to keep in RBI, that is called the cash reserve ratio. And as per today, the cash reserve ratio is 3%. It means 3% of the NDTL commercial bank has to maintain in RBI. This percentage can increase or decrease. It totally depends upon the prevailing condition. It means in the case of the inflation, the percentage will increase, and in the case of the deflation, it will decrease. The commercial bank has to keep the deposits in the RBI in cash form. Whatever the money the commercial banks are putting in RBI, they put the money in cash form only. Clear? Through the cash reserve ratio, the central bank influences the level of aggregate demand. In a very simple word, we can say that through the cash reserve ratio, RBI controls the aggregate demand. Always remember, in the case of the inflation, people are having more money. Since they are having more money, so it's almost a case that the demand for the commodity is increasing up. But the availability of the resources to meet out the demand is less, because of which the prices of the commodities are increasing. I repeat the same thing. In the case of the inflation, the demand is more and the supply is less, because of which the price of the commodity is increasing. The only solution to the problem is to cut down the demand, and the demand can only cut down by reducing the supply of money in the market. So what the RBI do? The RBI asks the commercial banks to deposit more money in RBI in the form of cash reserve. When the commercial bank will put more money in the RBI, the commercial bank will left with less money. Since the commercial banks are having less money right now, they are not in the position to give more money because they don't have more money. So whatever the money, it means with less money, they can give only less money to the people in the form of loan. It means that the circulation of the money will decrease. That the RBI do in the case of inflation by increasing up the cash reserve ratio. And in the case of the deflation, the RBI asked the commercial bank to put less money in the form of deposits in RBI. How they can do it? By decreasing the cash reserve ratio. When the cash reserve ratio will decrease, it means that the commercial bank, they don't have to put more money now. When the commercial banks are putting less money, so they are left with more money. So now more money they can give to the people in the form of loan. So the circulation of the money will increase. People will have more money now. With more money, the demand will increase and the problem of deflation will be solved. I hope the point is clear. How the government or how the RBI, check the problem of inflation and the deflation through the cash reserve ratio. The percentage of the ratio is very important. It can be asked in hot questions, only in hot questions. The next ratio is the statutory liquidity ratio. As per today, the statutory liquidity ratio is 18.5%. Always remember, every commercial bank has to keep the fixed percentage of its NDTL with themselves. The commercial banks keep the fixed percentage of NDTL with themselves in the form of cash, in the form of gold, in the form of government securities. We have seen that in the cash reserve ratio, commercial bank has to maintain reserve in cash form only in RBI. But in the form of statutory liquidity ratio, commercial bank has to maintain or they have to keep certain percentage of NDTL with themselves. They have to hold the certain percentage of NDTL with themselves. This they can hold in the form of cash also, gold also, and government securities. Through the statutory liquidity ratio, central bank influence the level of aggregate demand. I mean, through the statutory liquidity ratio, the aggregate demand is also being checked. In a very simple word, we can say that statutory liquidity ratio means what? It means every commercial bank has to hold some money with themselves. In the case of inflation, what happens? The RBI asks the commercial bank to hold more money with themselves. If the commercial banks are they are being asked to hold more money, it means less money they can lend to the people. It means that the circulation of the money will be decreased. In the case of deflation, the RBI asks the commercial bank to hold less money. It means that the circulation of the money will increase. When the RBI asks the commercial bank to hold more money, the problem of inflation will be solved. And when the RBI asks the commercial bank to hold less money, then the problem of deflation will be solved. I hope the point is clear to everyone. Let us see the difference between the cash reserve ratio and the statutory liquidity ratio. The difference are very important. It can only be asked in hot questions. It can be asked in 1 marks. Let us see the difference. On the basis of maintenance, we can say that cash reserve ratio, bank maintain it with RBI, whereas statutory liquidity ratio, bank maintain it with itself. On the basis of the form, we can say that cash reserve ratio is maintained in cash form, whereas statutory liquidity ratio is maintained in the form of cash, gold, and government securities. On the basis of the act, we can say it covers under the section 42 subsection 1 of the RBI Act 1934, whereas statutory liquidity ratio is covered under section 24 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. The another instrument is the open market operations. This is another tool which comes under the quantitative instruments. It refers to the deliberate and the direct buying and selling of securities in the open market by the central bank. When I say securities, it can be the eligible paper like government securities, bills, and securities of private concerns, etc. It means that the central government increase and decrease the supply of money by the selling of securities or by the purchasing of securities. In the case of inflation, what the RBI do, they sell the securities, and in the case of deflation, the RBI purchase the securities. In the narrow sense, open market operation refers to the purchase and the sale by the central bank of government securities in the open market that I have already discussed with you. In the broader sense, open market operation implies the purchase and sale by the central bank of any kind of eligible paper like government securities, bills and securities of private concern, etc. Always remember one thing, that this open market operation started in 2002. This date is important when the open market operation started. It started from the year 2002. Let us see the effect on reserves of commercial banks. In the open market operations, the reserves of the commercial bank changes. When the central bank purchase the securities, the reserves of the bank increase. I repeat the same thing, when the central bank purchases the securities, the reserve of the commercial bank increases exactly by the same amount of the purchases. The question is how? When the central bank purchases the securities, they give the money to the people and the people keep the money or deposit the money in commercial bank. So with the purchase, the reserves of the commercial bank increases. The bank will expand the credit multiple times, and when the deposit increase, the credit creation by the commercial bank also increases. Opposite effect will be obtained when the central bank sell the securities. It means that the deposit decreases and the credit creation also decreases. Let us see what happens in the case of the inflation. In the case of the inflation, with the objective to reduce the volume of the credit, the central bank sells the securities to the public, for which it receives payment by check drawn on commercial banks. In a very simple word, we can say that at the time of the inflation, central bank sell the securities. By selling the securities, the excess money which the people are holding will come back to the central bank and the problem of excess demand will be solved. Let us see what happens at the time of the depression or the deflation. During the deflation or the depression, the central bank purchases the securities from the market. It means the public, whosoever is holding the government securities, the government purchase the government securities from them. The people will get the money. When the people will get the money, the increase of the demand increases and the problem of the deflation or the depression is solved. Always remember, when the people will get the money, they will they will deposit the money in the commercial banks, and the commercial bank increases the credit creation by manifold. So the problem of the deflation, that is less money in the circulation, will be solved. The next is marginal standing facility rate. It comes under the policy rate. Marginal standing facility rate, that is MSF, is a window for bank to borrow from the RBI in an emergency situation when interbank liquidity dries up completely. In a very simple word, marginal standing facility rate is a window through which commercial bank borrow the money from the RBI for a very short duration. When they have to borrow it, when the liquidity dries up completely in the commercial banks. In short, we can say for overnight, commercial bank take loan from the RBI. The minimum limit to avail the marginal standing facility is 1 crore rupees. That is the minimum money which the RBI commercial banks borrow overnight from the RBI. Through this scheme, commercial bank will get the loan up to 2% of the NDTL. It means for the shorter period, if the commercial banks are in the need, they can get the loan up to 2% of NDTL. As per today, the marginal standing facility rate is 4.25. At this rate, at this percentage, the RBI will give the money to the commercial banks under marginal facility rate. The next is bank rate. The rate at which RBI gives loan for the longer period, that is more than 1 year, to the commercial bank is called bank rate against the securities. Through the bank rate, the RBI solve the problems of inflation and deflation. In the case of the inflation, What the RBI do? They increases the bank rate. When I say RBI increases the bank rate, it means that RBI gives the loan to the commercial banks at a higher rate of interest. When the commercial banks are getting the loan at a higher rate of interest, they give the same thing to the uh, consumer at much more higher rate, because of which the loan becomes expensive and less people start approaching the commercial banks for the loan. So the problems of the inflation will be solved. In the case of the deflation, the RBI decreases the bank rate. When the RBI decreases the bank rate, the commercial banks offer the loan to the people at a low rate of interest, because of which the loan becomes dearer and more people are approaching the commercial banks for the loan, and the problem of deflation will be solved. As per today, the bank rate is 4.25%. The next rate which comes under the policy rate is reverse repo rate. What is reverse repo rate? Up till now, we have seen that the commercial banks are borrowing the money from the central bank. Have you ever heard that the central bank is also borrowing the money? Yes, this happens. And the central bank borrow the money from the commercial banks only and only to solve the problem of inflation. And the rate at which the central bank borrow the money from the commercial bank is called reverse repo rate. As per today, the reverse repo rate is 3.35%. The next is repo rate. We know that the rate at which RBI borrow the money from the the rate at which we know that the rate at which commercial banks borrow the money for the longer period is called bank rate. And opposite to that, when the commercial banks borrow the money from the RBI for the shorter period is called the repo rate. It means uh, commercial banks borrow the money from the central bank for less than 1 year, that is through the repo rate, and that is called repo rate. When the commercial bank borrow the money for less than 90 days is called repo rate. It means always remember, it is a repurchase optional rate. What it means? It means that the commercial banks are taking loan from the central bank with the condition that after making the payment, the commercial bank will get these securities, because always when the commercial banks borrow the money, they borrow the money against the securities. So when the commercial banks borrow the money, they borrow the money with the condition that when they return the money, they will get back the securities. It is offered up to 0.5% of the NDTL. If the commercial banks are in the need of more money, the only option left to them is marginal standing facility rate, because through the marginal standing facility rate they will get more money, that is 2% of NDTL. Through the repo rate, the commercial bank will get only 0.5% of NDTL. I hope the point is clear. As per today, the repo rate is 4%. Dear viewers, that's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please spread the video as much as you can, so that more and more students should avail the benefits of these classes. Please stay home, stay safe, and at the end, don't forget to wear mask. Om Shanti.